Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. US President Donald Trump says the United States may launch a second military strike on Venezuela following the capture of President Nicolás Maduro if remaining members of the administration do not cooperate with his efforts to get the country fixed. Trump's comments to reporters aboard Air Force One raised the possibility of further US military interventions in Latin America and suggested Colombia and Mexico could also face military action if they do not reduce the flow of illicit drugs to the United States. The United States may raise tariffs on India if New Delhi doesn't meet Washington's demand to curb purchases of Russian oil. Donald Trump told reporters aboard Air Force One to a question on India's Russian oil purchases that they do trade and the US can raise tariffs on them very quickly. The leaders of Denmark and Greenland have urged US President Donald Trump to stop threatening to take over Greenland after he reiterated his wish to do so in an interview. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said in a statement that it makes absolutely no sense to talk about the US needing to take over Greenland. The US has no right to annex any of the 3 countries in the Danish kingdom. The Greenland Prime Minister said the US President saying, "We need Greenland," isn't just wrong, it's disrespectful.
Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has been transferred to Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center in New York following a U.S. military operation in Venezuela, U.S. media report. Maduro is expected to face federal criminal charges related to drugs and weapons and will be formally arraigned in Manhattan Federal Court in the coming days. His wife may also face arraignment, though her detention status is unclear. The Metropolitan Detention Center, known for housing high-profile inmates such as Ghislaine Maxwell and R. Kelly, is a high-security facility with a reputation for harsh conditions. At least 40 people, including civilians and military personnel, were killed in recent U.S. strikes on Venezuela, the New York Times reports. The strikes followed a U.S. military operation that captured President Nicolás Maduro. One airstrike hit a 3-story residential building in Samaa, near Caracas's main airport, destroying homes and displacing families. Among the dead was 80-year-old Rosa Gonzalez and members of her family. Survivors described widespread loss and despair. The operation, involving air, land and sea forces, escalates tensions between Washington and Caracas.
Also, Venezuela's defense minister says a large part of President Nicolás Maduro's security team was killed during the US raid that led to his capture. Speaking on state television, General Vladimir Padrino did not give casualty figures, but confirmed the armed forces have been activated nationwide. Meanwhile, a senior Venezuelan official says the government remains united behind President Maduro. Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello said there is only one president and urged supporters not to fall for what he called enemy provocations. Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodríguez, has urged citizens to defend national sovereignty after US forces detained President Maduro. Speaking on state-linked Telesur, Rodríguez condemned the operation as US aggression, saying it caused military and civilian casualties, and demanded Maduro's immediate release. Earlier, Venezuela's Supreme Court had ordered Rodríguez to assume the role of acting president to ensure continuity of government and defend national sovereignty during Maduro's absence. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani says he has spoken directly with US President Donald Trump and opposed what he described as a pursuit of regime change in Venezuela. Speaking to reporters, Mamdani said he called the president to formally register his objection, arguing that such actions violate federal and international law. His remarks come after US special forces captured Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and transported him out of Venezuela to a jail in New York.
The UN Security Council will convene on Monday following a U.S. military operation in Venezuela that captured President Nicolás Maduro. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called the action a dangerous precedent for international diplomacy. Colombia, backed by Russia and China, requested the meeting to discuss the legality of the operation and its impact on global peace and security. Guterres' spokesperson, Stefan Dujarric, said the strike breaches international law and the UN Charter.
That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.